Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today we are finally back for another episode of Amberleaf, and now that you guys are all seeing my video, you have just finished watching our brand new intro for Amberleaf, so I really hope you enjoyed that. It took a while to decide the animals that were going to be in it, but since we're shifting from the Ice Age Park to more Mesozoic animals, I thought it would be a bit more fitting. Anyways, to celebrate 10 episodes, we now have a world download. If you go down into the description below, you can download the file for our world. There will be a list of mods down there too, so you can get all the right mods and download our world. But we're also going to do a world tour to celebrate all that we've accomplished so far and all that we will accomplish in the future. So let's get started. Alright, so this is my humble home. This is of course where the series all started. Since then it's been modified, things have come out, things have gone in, but you know, it's certainly a nice flat. You know, the chests are no longer useful because of new things in the park, but I'm still glad they're here. Alright, so I'm going to be trying to do this tour in the order that everything was built in order to do this right. And there's obviously our farm, there's our house, and I'm not going to be using the minecart today, simply because it's a bit too complicated. Path splits two ways. Let's start out by looking here. This small little box right here used to be Enclosure, but it's expanded twice now, and now it's massive. You'll see the animal that lives in there soon. But until then, let's continue taking a look around. Here's the cow farm. Here's the chicken farm. These are vital to feeding the carnivores in our park. Here we have the minecart station. You know, click this, you get a minecart, and it goes out for a nice park tour, though we won't be doing that today. You can see it's a nice, humble little station. And this way, there's access to a whole nother area, but we won't be getting into that yet. Let's go this way. Alright, so I haven't done a perfect job, but I've been trying to make this place nice and pretty, so of course it's decorated with plants and bushes, and you can't really see over the wall, but it's sometimes worth a try. Obviously to our left we have our greenhouses where we cultivate prehistoric crops. I recently harvested these for an enclosure, so they're not proliferating, but you know. Alright, enclosures continue that way down the park, but let's take a look at the restricted area. This is one of our many restricted areas in the park, and where we do some groundbreaking research in prehistoric cloning. First of all, if you come back here, right here, this is one of the backbones of our operation. This is the Amberleaf communication tower. I won't go up there right now, but this is what we use to broadcast messages in and we receive messages from Amberleaf headquarters and other Amberleaf centers. We get news, information, we can request help and supplies. This is why that's there. It's very, very helpful. Now we continue following around this path, which is staff only. You'll see we go around the back. This Dinosaur skeleton is a new addition, but it's just a nice decorations here. There's a minecart ending, the end of here, which is obviously employees only, but the reason it stops here, because now we're on this side. This is normally hidden behind the wall, which, yeah, you can see that right here, it's completely hidden, but this is probably the backbone of our entire center, you know, aside from the tower. This is the laboratory, as you can see by the name on it. Let's open the doors, take a look inside. The inside's quite dark, but you can get an idea of what we do in here. If we look around inside the laboratory, let's open all the doors so that you guys can get a good look. But yeah, this is our embryonic proliferation facility where we hatch new dinosaurs and animals if they need it. This is our incubator facility where we keep eggs that we haven't hatched yet, and we've been doing a good job of emptying it out. You know, obviously there's some stuff we won't use, but it's a great place for storage. And then this room, of course, is the main laboratory where we perform cloning and such. Chests are full of biological stock, machines, items of significance or research. There are loads of machines in here. Those are all spares, but the machines that are on the ground are the ones that we currently use. And in here is the most expensive vault on this park. It has the most expensive items in it. Each one of these chests is filled with samples of our DNA. In the top, we have dinosaurs of all kinds, all their DNA, ready to be cloned eventually for our park. The next chest down, here's where we have all of our aquatic animals, all of our Paleozoic animals, and you can see all that DNA. And then if we go one chest down again, this is all of our mammal, bird, and ice age DNA. So we have a lot of DNA stored. We also have fossilized plants and petrified saplings, which we haven't cloned all of the saplings we have seeds for yet, but they will come in the future as well. Alright, so we've looked at the lab. Another feature of the restricted area is the Gastornis research area, which we haven't used very much since the Gastornis are now up for public viewing. But yeah, here we have all of our names. Rest in peace, Ty the Simping Guy and Embo. You'll be missed. We do have 2 more Gastornis that need a name, so if you want to name those, go down in the comments section below. But yeah, let's go inside, say hello to our Gastornis. So this is the second enclosure we built for this park. This right here is Embo, one of them. Over here we have Boyega. Right here is, yep, these must be the unnamed individuals. And here's the last one, which I believe, oh wow, they move fast. Yeah, but we have a lot of Gastornis in here, and they've been very, very popular animals to show off during streams and such. We go down this way, this is the left path. You can see one of our first Cenozoic animals. Inside of here, we have Rhina the Simp Queen, our female Elasmotherium, in her nice, warm summer exhibit. We got it filled with some very nice flowers, and you'll see what that is later, but yep, that is Rhina the Simp Queen. On each side of the path, if we look on the opposite side, we have these viewing windows, though right now you can't really see through it. These are handy when you actually see what's inside of this enclosure. Next, we do enter a crossroads on whether we should continue that way or we should turn right. Let's turn right so that we can get all of the park covered. So now you get to see what's inside of here. This right here is one of our largest enclosures. This is for our male Allosaurus, Bob Jeff, or Bob Jennifer, as she is now known. There you go. So that's Bob Jennifer right there. Free to roam around. This enclosure used to have some Compsognathus to complement, but Bob Jennifer is a hungry dinosaur, so all of them got eaten. Anyways, yeah, that is our Allosaurus, the first animal we cloned in the park. If we were to take the right trail through the park, which we didn't start with, there's obviously another viewing panel, and the actual public viewing area for the Gastornis, which I do believe looks still pretty nice. Let's continue down the path. Here you can see our rather ugly but rather well-working building. This is our storage facility. As you can see, every single chest is labeled and filled with the items that we use to build our enclosures and clone our animals. Through here, this is our vehicle creation area where we can build vehicles for the park, and yeah, that is our storage facility. You can see these enclosures now, but you'll see what's actually in them later, because these enclosures do fulfill a special purpose and functioning as regular enclosures. As we go along the path, we see graves of our dead dinosaurs. Here's the grave of Hawkeye and Ty the Simping Guy, 2 of our dead Gastornis. Maybe you'll get a peek at what might be living inside of that enclosure, but, you know, let's not waste our time and let's see what's actually living inside. So, we've looked at the central heartland of the park already. Let's take a look out into the expansion regions where I'm expanding outward, cloning some new animals. So, there's a huge ravine right here. We've covered it up with paths and, made it all secure. If you go to the right side of the path here, you can obviously see that we have a vehicle parked, and that's because this is the Jurassic Safari Zone. Alright, so now that we're inside the enclosure, you can obviously see its residents, but let's grab the vehicle, jump inside. This is our Stegosaurus enclosure, and inside we have our 2 Stegosaurus, Peggy and Do Not Ride. Quite fitting names for our 2 Stegosaurus. We have a female and a male. Let's continue through this enclosure, just follow the path slowly. Guests can always get a good look at our dinosaurs. The next animals in the park are certainly quite the size difference from the Stegosaurs. Oh boy, that's what happens when you put Gorilla Glue in your hair. Alright, so now that we've prepared it, let's take a look inside the exhibit. Let's make it car-free. At first glance, it looks completely empty, especially because it's such a small exhibit. But if we look around, we can obviously see there are Dryosaurs in here. We have 3 Dryosaurs that hide around this enclosure, and this is actually an enclosure that I very much like. I'd say the extreme amounts of plants give them more hiding space and camouflage, but yeah, this is our Dryosaur enclosure. And we don't have anything in here yet because there's just forest beyond this point, but eventually we'll expand this area and add plenty of new enclosures. Speaking of new enclosures, almost all of the animals cloned in this park were suggested by fans through a voting system. The way this works is if you subscribe and comment, your vote for an animal will be considered. So, what are the animal options currently? The current options are Smilodon and Ornitholestes. So anyways, that's the safari zone so far of our Jurassic Park area. But what is this? There's another enclosure? Yes, there is in fact. And there's going to be many more. But let's go this way. Over here is the newest enclosure in the park. This is our Dilophosaurus enclosure. This place is absolutely massive. It started out quite small, but we expanded it during a stream. Yeah, some of you guys probably haven't seen this yet, but it's all filled with brush, and there are 3 Dilophosaurs in there now. Let's take a peek inside, because I have tamed these Dilophosaurus, and they won't attack me. Maybe. Alright, the interior of the enclosure is covered with brush, just like the Dilo enclosure, although these animals might be easier to spot. Here we go. This is one of our males. They all do have names, though I don't remember what the names are. And we have some more Dilophosaurs hiding in the back. They're very, very good at hiding. They're like impossible to spot down here. But yeah, this is our Dilophosaur enclosure. Enclosures everywhere. But there is something nearby that borders all of this. This massive wall right here leads into the biggest project that we've ever worked on in this park. 2 whole 2-hour-long streams it took to build this. That's not even taking into account the amount of time it took to get the wood to build the border walls. But this is absolutely huge. This is one of the main ways I've proved my absolute dedication to the channel. But let's go inside. First, it might just seem like a botanical garden, but this place is amazing. This is our restricted area. It is not open to the public, but it is where we clone species, which we plan to make enclosures for in the future. As of right now, there are 3 herbivorous species living in here, and a witch, but ignore that. We have brachiosaurs. I think we have 3 in here. There's one of them. And if we keep looking, you'll see the other ones. Here is one of our Therizinosaurs. And if you want to see how big this enclosure is, it extends all the way over here. Yeah, that's the edge of the enclosure, all the way over there. It's so far that the dinosaurs inside haven't even migrated to that half of the enclosure yet. They're content with this side, but yeah. We have Sparagastornis, because we had a load of extra DNA that we didn't want to put to waste. We have some Therizinosaurs and some Brachiosaurs, so this will probably be accepting some more animals in the future. Something else, this is more of a detail than something entirely new, but the path next to the Dilophosaur enclosure leads to this bridge. I'm quite proud of this bridge for some reason, but yeah, if we cross this bridge, you'll see exactly what this leads to. Open the doors up and take a look inside. This is a whole viewing observatory and entrance to our Elasmotherium enclosure, but now it's nighttime, hard to see. Let's get back to the base, let's sleep, and then let's look at the other part. Alright, so we're inside of the minecart station. Go through this door. Remember this? We're about to see what mysteries are behind this portal. Let's jump through. Alright, I'm gonna take a moment to generate there. Welcome to the Cenozoic Park. This is the ultimate goal of Amberleaf, and we've just gone from Amberleaf Site 11A to Amberleaf Site 11B. So right here, this park is based around Cenozoic animals. We're in the higher mountains of this specific land, which I'm not gonna specify because gotta keep that secret. If we look around, I can obviously show you everything that we have in here. So first thing you'll do when you enter the portal is get on the path, which the path here is much more rugged considering the terrain. Let's take a look inside the enclosures. This is the Megalosaurus enclosure. Many of our Megalosaurus have died and have not been remembered, but let's take a look at the ones that are still here. This right here is Mrs. L, which is quite the mysterious name for our Megalosaurus. And if we go over here, we have Bud. This is Puting. And I believe there's one more, but they're so hard to find somehow. I mean, they're giant deer, but it's so weird how hard they are to find. Yeah, this right here is Uncle Fester, and next to him is Daisy S. So those are all of our animals. Let's keep going before they continue to eat our potatoes. In the enclosure across from them, you can see the icons of the Ice Age. Over here, we have our mammoths. We have 4 mammoths in this enclosure, though they often hide, so they're hard to spot. One of them is coming down to say hello to us. So, yep, there's one of them. We'll get a closer look at them later. That is all the left path currently leads to, but if we go down the right path, you'll see a lot more stuff. Over here, we have the Titanus Skywalk. This Titanus enclosure is quite big. I know I keep saying it, but been making a lot of bigger enclosures. We have a bunch of Titanus in here. Let's take a look at some of their names. We have a male named Pokemaster. We have a male named KFT, Kentucky Fried Titanus, of course. We have a female named Pegasus. We have a male named Phil Swift. And we have an unnamed Alpha. Oh yeah, we did get a name. The name is S. That's literally the name. But yeah, we have our 5 Titanus in here in this enclosure, and they are quite happy in here, so very glad we have these. Then if we continue, the Titanus Skywalk ends with Rhina the Simp Queen's Twitch donator. This right here is Lampard the Simp King, which is our Arctic Elasmotherium. He has a much more tundra-themed enclosure. You do get a better view of him, even though he's hiding in the corner. Yeah, this is the Titanus Skywalk. The only other thing in our Ice Age area is the Mammoth Observation Deck, which in my opinion is probably a much better way to see the actual mammoths. If we go through here, yeah, you get a viewing window into all of the mammoths' life, and you get to see all of them hanging around, socializing. We can actually go in and socialize with the mammoths right now. Alright, let's meet and greet a few of these. So this is Snowflake, this is Manny, and over here, wow, the mammoths moved up through the enclosure. We have Nigel Marvin. What the heck? Wait a moment, what the heck? Felicia, why are there 2 Nigel Marvins? Okay, I'm gonna have to take care of that off camera, but yeah, maybe we'll get them shipped to one of the other Amberleaf sites, but I guess that Nigel Marvin is split into 2. So yeah, the man, the myth, the legend is now 2. So in order to see this area, we have to completely leave the Ice Age area, the boundaries of it. You gotta do some mountain climbing. In the future, we're gonna find a very high mountain, probably this one actually. We're gonna be building an observatory to finish off the Ice Age park. But yeah, this area really does need to be worked on, but in the future there's going to be a monorail for much quicker travel, and you're about to see what's down here. So down here, the bottom of the mountain range, we have some much more dry biomes, and it's a perfect climate for a multitude of animals that are also from the Cenozoic era. So let's take a look. Over here, we only have 1 enclosure so far that correctly fits the climate, but if Smilodon gets voted in, then the Smilodon's probably going here, and maybe some others in the future, but probably not. There you are, buddy. This one doesn't have a name yet, but this right here is our resident Megalania, which is a giant monitor lizard from Australia. If you want to name it, go down in the comments. You can suggest names for all of our animals who are not named, and they may be taken into account. But yeah, as soon as this one's grown up, I'm probably going to try to get a scarab gem to tame it. But until then, we just have a nice little baby Megalania in here. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. I know this wasn't our most normal uploads, but I do hope you enjoyed the video. Nonetheless, we will be doing our next episode of Amberleaf fairly normally. I'm still going to be doing a lot of Minecraft Dinosaurs content, but I do want to switch it up to a bit more general Minecraft content to maybe attract some more viewers. Don't worry, there's plenty for the gold viewers here still. But yeah, hopefully we can expand a bit. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and also comment the next animal, or Ornitholestes, or Smilodon. Comment any names that you like, join the Discord, all the crazy things, and I'll see you next time.